So I have this friend who adamantly claims that she's not religious. And so I asked her, what do you like to do? And she said, well, I do yoga. And I said, okay, well, why do you do yoga? She said, well, it makes me feel good, I feel connected to myself, and it lowers my stress level. Now, I'm not much of an exercise person, so I asked, what does this involve? And she said, well, we move around, we chant, we meditate. And I asked her, do you pay for this kind of stuff? And she said, yeah, I pay a fee, but it's based on my income. It's really not that much. So I paused her for a moment, and I said, well, I think you're very religious. And she said, no, I'm not religious. I'm not religious at all. And I said, no, I'm pretty sure you're very, very religious. She said, okay, fine. Why? How am I religious? And I said, well, because every week I do basically the same thing. And she said, you do yoga? I said, no, I don't do yoga. Every week I do something that makes me feel good, it makes me feel connected, it lowers my stress, I move around a lot, I chant, I meditate, and I also pay a small fee based on my income in order to do that. And she said, oh yeah, what's that? And I said, well, it's the Saturday morning Shabbat service. She's like, no, I don't do that kind of typical boring Jewish stuff. It's not the same thing. And I said, yeah, sure it is. I move around, I prostrate, and I stand around while I listen to people chant sacred text, and it makes me feel good. And since I want to support it, I give a small donation based on my income. So if doing asanas and chanting is not religious, then I guess bowing before the Aron Kodesh and chanting Mi Chamocha isn't religious either. Just a thought.